funny. I got to tell you, our head is spinning. We're trying to keep up with this thing, and it's like watching two squirrels chase each other up and down a tree or something. It changes every 5 or 10 minutes, and it speaks to the general public of turmoil. What is the essence of this turmoil? Where is it all coming from?
Well, Charles, Democrats had a good night, and they deserve our congratulations for it. But it's not time to start playing taps on the Republican Party just yet. You're looking at 2 blue states. These are states that Donald Trump didn't win. They're not part of his coalition. Democrats did well there. But let's also keep in mind that Republicans turned out. This wasn't a case where Donald Trump's voters didn't show up. The Republican candidate for governor in Virginia got more votes than the sitting governor of Virginia, but Democrat intensity was higher. They turned out an additional 300,000 voters in Virginia. That's why they won, and we've got to be able to meet that intensity by getting accomplishments done in Washington, and that means passing this tax cut.
Right, and of course we just got word that the Ways and Means are going to get back together at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning to continue the markup process. But, you know, here's what we're hearing. Here's the things that we're hearing and that bother a lot of people. First of all, the higher the tax bracket, that wasn't advertised. People are worried about that. Of course, blue state Republicans are concerned about taking away SALT. Then there's a potential delay of the lower corporate rate by a year. Even today, Paul Ryan trying to say, hey, this is a pretty good thing. It may actually make it work out better. So what are the sacred cows in your mind that may have to go, and how do you sell it to the American public? Because it's not going to be what we thought it was when we pulled the lever a year ago.
Well, I think we're very happy with where we are on the corporate side, and we can see markets responding. Investor confidence and consumer confidence. Would you delay it by a year, though? Do you think markets would be okay delaying that by a year? I don't think that that's make or break. I would prefer to cut taxes immediately, because if you look at the impact we can have on the economy, we need to go ahead and get started. And, you know, politically, Bill Clinton was right about one thing. It's the economy, stupid. And we've got to be able to show the American people that with Republicans in charge, the economy is going to get better, wages will rise, and people will be able to build careers and count on their investments. Those things didn't happen in the Obama economy, but they're going to happen in the Trump economy. They're already happening even before we get the tax cut passed. Imagine how we're going to be able to grow the GDP and really take this economy off once we get the bill signed into law.
You're right. We've been imagining that. The enthusiasm's through the roof and the market's through the roof. But Bill Clinton was right about something else. Keep it simple, stupid, right? I mean, you know, this is what we're trying to say to the Republican Party. First of all, if it can't be grandiose, if you can't get that together, what about the notion of tax cuts immediately, something that would get through and then build upon it, not unlike what President Reagan had to do. He had a pretty good 8-year run.
Well, and I've been arguing for retroactivity in this tax cut so that people get money right away. I think that's going to be the juice that really gets this economy moving. And so we're having those debates and discussions. This is fundamentally different than health care, because in health care we did have a very top-down process where we were told we had to vote for or against a bill without changes. We're seeing something very different now, where we're going to continue to sand off the rough edges of this legislation. We're going to cut the corporate tax rate, repatriate capital, and simplicity, as to your point, is actually the organizing principle of what we're doing on individual taxes. 9 out of every 10 Americans won't itemize, and they'll be able to fill out their taxes on a postcard. What I think that'll do is increase compliance with actually paying taxes, bringing more revenue into the Treasury, and making sure we're able to meet the needs of the government without having high taxes on our citizens.
Representative Gaetz, I've only got 10 seconds, but the individual mandate, the CBO came out this afternoon saying if you guys got rid of it, you could find an extra $338 billion. Is that something that could be in play as well?
We absolutely should abolish the individual mandate. It's unpopular, and we should send that over to the Senate. That's my view. We'll see if we can get Republican consensus in the House.
Sir, thank you very much. I appreciate your time and your straightforward answers.
Thank you.
President Trump